What if we make her drink more water before she gets back? Also, hi. Hi, everybody. How are you? Wonderful weather we're having. I'm seeing some new faces here, too. Make her stretch, too. The last thing you want is for a dragon to get scoliosis.
What am I saying? I have scoliosis.
Nobody.
Stretch. Posture check. Thank you. All right. All right, we're gonna watch this.
Okay, seafood on top of the pizza.
And yes,
Well,
I know. Before anyone says it, well, a lot of people don't like this man.
who is this guy?
Tectone.
I don't think I've heard of him.
He plays the MiHoYo games, and he is one of Asmongold's friends.
Oh, okay.
He is divisive, to say the least.
I mean, compared to like other people on the planet, I guess being friends with Asmongold isn't the worst possible thing, but does he support his lifestyle?
Well, to be fair, I think this is hilarious that people are trying to say that Asmongold's room is still messy. No, he cleaned it. Like, we've seen pictures of it.
Okay, but it's been messy for how fucking long?
Well, he cleaned it. It's clean now.
Okay.
But
well,
yes, was
alright.
it messy for a long time? Yes. Do we also, like, admit that maybe it was, like, a mental fog causing it to get that messy? Yes.
Does he wipe his ass when he shits?
We're not going to answer that question. That question is... We probably won't like the answer.
Boys, like this video.
Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure that was one of his jokes. Like, he says some things literally on purpose to make clips.
But what becomes a lie and what becomes the
That's
truth
the
by
point,
that point?
though. That he's even said that. He's like, what's a lie? What's real? Who knows? All right. I'm already mad about this. Credit card companies have started attacking overseas Japanese manga sites where they can't post certain... They want all art to be censored before it even gets to the people, even in another country, which I call red flag on that, because it is up to that country to decide whether it will be censored or not. It is not up to a credit card company. If that country is okay with that art, you damn well better be okay with that art.
What exactly are they censoring, though?
We're
Is it
gonna
actually as
find out.
bad? Is it actually as bad as it seems?
Forced to censor manga and anime?
this
Wait,
real?
It's time
is there
for
an
the
actual
latest.
base video so I can like literally pull the actual video out?
Japan is being
Yep, there
forced
is.
to censor
But yeah, they're being forced to
manga
censor
and
their manga.
anime? It's time for the latest news out of Japan. If you were to ask a dedicated fan of anime and manga, what is a word worse than death? They'd give you a quick and simple answer.
Censorship, which I agree. Like, that is one of the biggest, what's the word? Roadblocks to art. Do people forget that that the church tried to censor art in the past? This is literally that. Like, you're if you allow this, we will never get better at art.
Censorship. Adult content is a huge part of Japanese entertainment culture, especially when it comes down to drawn or animated media like anime and manga. Whether it comes in the form of extreme violence, mild and comedic displays of nudity, or full-blown R-rated scenery, adult content is something that's naturally ingrained into Japanese media. But unfortunately, not every country which anime and manga are distributed to supports these spicy additions, and as such, there have been several cases where anime and manga have been censored to suit the ideologies of several countries. For example,
You know the
Mitsumi
Pokemon
Batsin
manga
in
got
Demon Slayer,
censored
where
for
her-
overseas?
Yeah. There was actually a scene that's supposed to have a gun in it. In the early
No,
Pokemon
the
game.
manga, not the anime.
Oh, did the manga get censored?
Yeah.
What
I
happened?
mean, the manga already had some brutal shit. Like, there's a rotting Psyduck
Oh yeah.
court.
There's a
An
like,
Arbok gets sliced in half.
Yeah.
One of the characters, I think it's Green, takes off her shirt and reveals that her boobs are Pokeballs, and uses them to trick Sabrina or some shit like that. I don't know. It's been a while.
I
I know they
remember that.
censored that one.
Yeah, they censored that one.
Bareback and chests were shown was censored in the Chinese version, as she was seen wearing a towel in that scene. Fans didn't pay much mind to it and instead found some of these cases funny, such as
This has got to be the stupidest thing. This is Malaysian censorship. They're giving them pants and dresses that don't even like really fit. Like this one kind of fits right here, his little coat and jacket, but at the same time it doesn't fit because no one wore that kind of like outfit.
when the Malaysian version of
Am I led to believe that
the
pants
Titans,
are
which
organic?
were normally
That's
bare-skinned,
basically what they're trying to
wearing
say.
tight pants. Little did they know that things would eventually blow up in an aggravating way. During the final days of October, the United Nations
This is
pitched the idea of censoring or even banning anime and manga, based on the idea that these forms of media were promoting gender stereotypes and violence towards women and children. Many fans voiced their discomfort with that development.
It's draconian. It is like what they said. It's draconian belief that it's the same thing as trying to say that video games promote violence. They don't. There's been many studies and many tests with no where the people were not biased at all. Like it was clear that they weren't biased because they had nothing to do with video games or no one was paying them. They did these tests and the tests showed in fact the opposite. Because people were able to get their negative emotions out on games, less violence happened. And less things happened in that regard. People were less inclined to aggressiveness. So to try and say this again, but for manga and anime is just bonkers.
Claiming it was wrong on so many different levels. But things
If you ban these things, what you're doing is, one, you're taking away that output for that particular aggression and stuff. But you're also eliminating the punishments for those characters, which is eliminating that lesson being taught to people. Because usually the bad guy that does something like that gets punished pretty harshly. Like, in any anime where it's violent enough where a girl gets hurt or something, badly, usually that character that did it gets destroyed or killed or brutally murdered or something. Those anime and stuff are never one-sided. There's always dual sides to every situation. At worst, most of these anime and manga are morally gray.
still took a turn for the worse because recently it was discovered that Western credit card companies such as Visa and MasterCard
what I'm
are now
talking about.
dissociating themselves from anime and manga sites in an attempt to force them to censor their content.
Which no credit card company, no company whatsoever should be allowed to do that. How would you guys feel if Twitch stops paying VTubers because they don't feel comfortable with us being in animated characters?
Why can't they just be a real person?
Why
I
can't
can't
they be a
support
real
this.
person?
Stop
No,
hiding
they
under a
can't.
mask.
Now that we know what Lugia wants.
I wasn't. Oh, all right, fine. You know what? No, take it as you will.
I'm just messing with you. But yeah, how would y'all feel if a company suddenly did that? Or how would y'all feel suddenly if, oh, you can't pick your nose. You can't get paid if you pick your nose or something like that. That's what they're doing. They're literally.
Slowly and slowly, we're just gonna act like we're living in 1984.
That's literally what is happening. We are having a reversion if they do this. We're literally going back in time, and not in the good way.
Ken Akamatsu, the creator of Love Hina, was unfortunately a victim of this, as his manga site Manga Z was forced to shut down due to these credit card.
Like, he's been literally monetizing these books that are out of print and aren't available to read. He lets you read them for free with ads on the site so that he can pay the artists of these books. But he can't pay them. Why can't he pay them, guys? Because credit card companies are uncomfortable with any type of even slightly uncensored art.
Man. You know that site? Oh shit.
Alright, I'm back. They were leaving. Alright.
Card companies pulling away. In his official statement on Twitter, he said, "The website Manga Library Z, formerly known as J Komi, which I founded 14 years ago, had decided to cease operations on November 26th. Although I have already stepped down from management, I'm writing this announcement on behalf of the team. About Manga Library Z. Manga Library Z is an ad-supported platform that provides out-of-print manga as free digital content, generating ad revenue to compensate creators. Server and operational costs were mainly covered by fees from premium members. Reasons for the shutdown. The immediate cause of the suspension is that our payment processor has notified us that they are terminating all payment services beyond credit card payments, which includes other methods. Suddenly, all credit card providers, including JCB, became unusable, and other payment options, except for BidCash, were also rendered non-functional. On top of that, even payments for past months were withheld, so we were unable to cover server costs due to the lack of incoming premium member fees. After careful consideration, the Manga Library Z team determined that running the site solely on BitCash revenue was unsustainable. Even if a new payment processor was found, similar issues could arise again, and selectively removing content to stay operational was undesirable. Thus, we—
And like, I approve of this. Shut it down rather than let them get away with causing you to delete works. Like, don't give them that satisfaction. Don't let them think that they're getting away with anything. Because the second you do is the second they'll push further. It's the entire concept of if you give a mouse a cookie, they will want a glass of milk kind of thing.
We reached the
They'll
decision to
constantly want
suspend the
something more.
site. We apologize for the suddenness of the situation and for yielding to the control of the payment provider, which left us with little time to respond. However, through this experience, we have gained insights on the grounds for declaring payment service suspensions, the severity and duration of associated penalties, and potential countermeasures. In the past, for example, Love Hina was banned and later reinstated in Apple's ebook app, a situation that became a valuable case in protecting freedom of expression. We continue to refer to these kinds of special cases in discussions about protecting free expression. Recently, stricter conditions and penalties have emerged from payment service providers, posing—
I don't think any credit card company should be allowed to dictate what you do on your site.
That's your money,
Because one,
not theirs.
that's your money, not theirs. They are just being used as a travel port. Like, if it wasn't necessary to use you, they wouldn't. You should be proud that they use you. Like, this mafia bullying crap needs to stop. Just because a particular culture does not share your views on a subject does not mean you get to dictate what they do. They are from a different culture. They are from a different country. You will respect their culture and choices. Like, if you try to claim, so many of these companies try to claim, like, solidarity and, like, respect for these other countries, but then when countries like Japan want to, like, just want to show off their art and stuff, it's suddenly, oh no, it's too violent or too graphic. I'm sorry? Who gave you the right to decide that? Do I see a tag on you that says censorship police? Or quite literally cultural dictator? No.
A growing threat to not only ebooks, but to the Japanese content industry as a whole. We intend to develop more accurate countermeasures as a platform.
What I think needs to happen, I've heard of certain platforms working way better, and they are like they don't dictate anything you do. I think these sites should go to them. Throw out credit card companies altogether. Because, honestly, they don't deserve your money at that point. That's what I'm saying. I would go to war with anyone that want to censor anime. Because it's not fair. And it's not even, like, right. Or just. Like, what would have happened if the church got away with censoring art in the past? You know what you would have right now? You'd have way worse art than you have now. You'd have, like...
You wouldn't have titties.
Did you just say you wouldn't have titties?
Yeah.
Love you too, Lugia.
Platform that has been directly affected. We appreciate your support in this endeavor. So, there's a lot to unpack in this message, but the main point is that his manga site is being forced to shut down based on their inability to make money. And the cause of that is, of course, the fact that the Western credit card companies they were aligned with chose to step away from them. This is a very terrible situation, and anime fans are absolutely furious about this incident. A fan said, "Bad take from US-based card companies.
You're trying to force an entire culture to, like just what this person says, censor a major part of their culture. Their cultural identity. That's bonkers stupid.
Force an entire country to censor a...
Don't censor Lugia, let the man preach. Do you want to say anything more about your titties?
Yui, you have no idea how much I love you right now.
A major part of their cultural identity will just force
Hey, I said I love them. That's all I said. I didn't censor them.
Japan to seek a possible home-sourced card company, which will lead to other
The church did destroy a lot of art in the past.
non-Japanese sites to utilize them as well to avoid censorship. What's worse is that the censorship they're trying to influence into effect isn't the normal one we're familiar with, where only the versions of anime and manga for specific countries are altered. What these
Okay, let's
people
be
want
honest.
is for these
The Pokemon jelly-filled donut, while it's not intentional, is still fucking funny.
It's because people were the people in the Western audience were like the people that were like editing the anime were like, no one's gonna understand what an Oni really is.
Or the Yu-Gi-Oh finger guns. Like, yeah, you're kind of like eliminating some of the content, but also like it's still like
It's
amusing.
funny, but in the grand scheme of things, I think it should be kept as is. Because
That's totally fair.
younger kids already know about guns, or do you forget that they've been lots of schools have been attacked? Would you rather your kid know about guns before, so that they know, oh gosh, that person has a gun, I should tell a teacher?
I think in the context of a show where you use cards to battle people, like, they probably don't want to distract, like, real conflict into that storyline.
Well, there is, like, argument there. But, like, what I'm saying is, you censoring this stuff does nothing to help people.
products to be censored right at the source, meaning even the original versions of
what
anime
happened,
and manga
yo.
being distributed in Japan would be heavily censored. This is a huge slap in the face, not only to the whole freedom of expression privilege for creators, but also Japanese culture in general. These card companies have done this before with platforms like Pixiv and DL Site, removing themselves from those sites until certain content which they deem is inappropriate is removed. Some fans are even trying to make light of the situation by claiming that the world is now similar to Shimoneta, and
What's funny is Shimoneta is literally the anime about how everything adult was illegal. Which, I'm gonna tell you right now, too many people would hate you. for
anime
doing
world
that.
where all forms of adult things were banned. Credit card companies actually hold a lot of power because they monopolize the use of online and card-based transactions. So basically, if you wish to make a payment to any sites, including anime and manga sites, it most often has to go through them, which is why a situation like this, where they pull away from a company, would mean that the company has no way of making any money. And thus, the company is forced to shut down, all based on an unfair imposition of Western ideologies on Japanese media. Some fans are going as far as saying that Japan should stop distributing anime and manga to the West entirely, since they're the ones always pushing for censorship. Japan needs to give a big
You would
middle
cancel a
finger to
whole
the West
fucking
and
medium just to
completely
appease
disconnect from
credit
it.
card
These were the
companies? Are
wor-
you kidding me?
Well, no. What they're saying is they should just stop distributing it to the West, because the West is the one that's constantly asking for all these censorships. No other country is really asking for it at all. Just the West. And most anime and like manga people would rather they just stop distributing to the West and we get it through other means than let credit card companies dictate what they do. Basically, well, PayPal has certain interesting rules and stuff. There's actually a better site I've heard. I don't remember what it's called or anything.
Venmo?
Is it Venmo? It might be Venmo. It's a site that people near like Australia and stuff use. But there's also the possibility that maybe like someone like I know people don't like him, but Elon Musk was the person that created PayPal. He could create another place where like and have it be basically the same as Twitter, where it's like no discrimination whatsoever, like hands-off approach kind of thing.
Words of a fan who was rightfully annoyed by the situation. Some are calling out in
Elon Musk is super against censorship. That's why he bought Twitter. Like, say what you want about the guy, but you can say literally anything you want on Twitter now, and your account will not be banned. Like, yes, there are limits, but there are clear limits. Like, you can't just go around being like, well, to give you a point how little censorship there is on Twitter, there are people saying, I want to Minecraft the president-elect and stuff. Yeah, okay, you don't like him, but you really shouldn't say something like that. Like, most other sites would have banned a person like that. Those people aren't banned right now on Twitter.
influential figures like Elon Musk to do something about the situation, given the fact that he openly admitted to being a huge fan of anime and gaming. Fans think that Musk will eventually start his own card companies and payment platforms that would eventually crush the ones currently monopolizing the business. Some others feel that crypto should become the premier.
And I don't think it should be crypto. Crypto does not have...
No, definitely not.
It is not, one, it's not sufficiently, like, backable. Two, the only reason crypto is worth anything is because people put value in it. Technically, it has no value. It's worse than the dollar, because at least the dollar is backed by something. Like, basically, the dollar is worth something because the government, like, says that's worth $1.
Shit, dollar, you mean penny.
You're not wrong. But, like, ignoring, like, inflation and stuff, like, when they give you $1, that's worth $1 in that respect. Like, that's why a lot of people are pushing for the minimum wage to go up, because it needs to, like, equate where money is now. It needs to be around $15 minimum. I would say $20, honestly, but 15 would probably be substantial enough, I think. Probably barely enough.
Means of payments, putting the current card companies out of business. And they believe the outcome of the recently concluded US elections could make that dream a reality. Interestingly, apparently, Brazil...
This is what it's called, PIX. It bypasses cards and bank limitations. And basically, if you use Pix, you completely ignore the card companies.
Used a system called PIX that bypasses cards and bank limitations. If more countries copied this method, those payment processing holders would have zero power across the globe and would be forced to compete with quality of service
Which is what they should already do.
instead. Well, these proposed solutions do seem appealing, but it would take a lot of different things to come into place for them to actually work out. Taking notice of this, fans have decided to focus on looking for ways to fight back and punish the card companies directly. Many have suggested starting a war with America or even orchestrating a cyber attack against these card companies.
You know what would definitely work?
Okay, that's
Yeah,
that might be
that's
going a little
anime.
too far.
That's some of the more crazy people. That's not even anime people. That's just what I think. I don't even think a is necessary. I think a little bit more of yo-ho-hoing needs to be done
Aye, matey.
to, show the credit card companies how much they're actually viewed.
This is why I want the entire Western entertainment industry gone, wiped clean from the world. Were the words of a fan?
Which, I don't blame people for thinking this. The Western entertainment industry has gotten worse and worse and worse over the years. How many shows in recent history has people been excited for? I could think of them on, one hand almost. The fact that I'm able to count them on my hands is bad.
Well, do you know what they are?
The ones I can think of off the top of my head are Arcane, I believe Bull and stuff are still running, but I'm saying a vast majority of people are excited for it. So off the top of my head, I could say basically just Arcane. Oh, and Deadpool. That's it. For mass appeal. You see how little that is? In terms of mass appeal? Those are the only two I heard a lot about everywhere online when they were coming out. All these other ones, yeah, some people might mention them, but for the most part, nothing. It's because our industry is bad. It's just gone to the dogs.
Who needs to be convinced that the Western entertainment industry is no sandcastle that could easily be kicked down. This is maybe a little extreme. Many believe that the best course of action...
You fell asleep? You didn't fall asleep during Wolverine's shirtless scene, did you?
Action would be to avoid
I heard
buying
good
from them
things about that
entirely,
movie.
and
I've never seen it for myself,
It is
though.
good. I would say you'd have to like the original kind of Marvel movies,
Okay.
before Endgame. Those kind of feel good. They are there for entertainment purposes movies.
The only ones that I've ever really
Beetlejuice was
liked...
really good. I'll say that. I watched Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice was amazing.
The sequel.
Yeah, it was absolutely cinema. And you know the girl that plays Wednesday in the Netflix series?
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, she was in it. She did it amazing in that as well.
Okay. I don't know if Deadpool would be up my alley, because the only Marvel movies I really enjoy are the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, and that's pretty much it. And it's not even because it's Marvel, it's because it's Sam Raimi, and I like Evil Dead. I like his style, so...
It has that kind of style, though. You'd probably like it. To give you an idea, the entire first part of the movie is... You find out that Deadpool's digging up Wolverine's body, because he's totally alive. He's just down there, And he digs him up, and he finds his skull, his, adamantium skeleton, and he's like, you were dead.
Damn.
And then, these time police come to, try to, eliminate him and stuff, and he just starts dancing with the metal skeleton, killing them with the metal skeleton pieces. They're breaking off, and he's just throwing them at them and stuff.
Why does he dance?
Because it's Deadpool.
Okay.
Deadpool likes to break the fourth wall. And so he puts on, what was it? Is it like, it's Backstreet Boys, I think. And he's just dancing to Backstreet Boys while he's killing all these people. And he keeps looking at the screen like, look at me, I'm being amazing. And, oh, you know you like it. And stuff like that.
I don't know, maybe I should watch the first 2 movies before watching that one.
Yeah, to give you an idea, just like read a few comic books online or something of Deadpool. And you'll understand what Deadpool's about. Deadpool is literally... He breaks the fourth wall.
I've seen him in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Is that good enough?
Does he break the fourth wall in that game, or does it like he talk to the player?
I don't know. He talks a lot, and he just has fun with what he does.
Yeah, that's basically what Deadpool is. He's just having fun. He's the merc with a mouth. It's what he's called. Like that's his moniker.
So he's just not Dante.
He's not Dante. He's Dante if Dante could see outside the game and look at you and be like, man, frick you for letting me die. Kind of thing. Like, that's Deadpool. He likes to... He's what made that kind of, like, niche of TV show funny and good. Is because he interacts with the audience a little bit. Like, in one of the games I played him in, Marvel Alliance, you remember that game?
I think so, yeah.
Deadpool's in that game, and when you do an ult or something, he would be like, now I'm better at it, is that whatever Wolverine does. Like, see, he likes to make fun of Wolverine, because Wolverine's kind of one of the other, like, immortal characters.
He's like a rival to him.
Yeah, so they kind of, like, have, like, a little rivalry. Well, Deadpool wanted to be part of the X-Men. Wolverine was, but didn't want to be. Kind of, they're opposites, basically. But overall, Deadpool is a chaotic, good character. Oh yeah, he loves because Fox owned Deadpool and didn't think he would do anything. Like, they owned the rights to Deadpool, but never did anything with him. Which is hilarious, because Deadpool arguably is the reason why Marvel isn't entirely unprofitable this year.
So many fans have resolved to only using pirate sites for consuming anime and manga, instead of paying through these companies.
Yeah,
Depending on how things play out, this incident could cause a ripple that would affect Japanese culture and how anime is created. For now, we can only hope things go in favor of Japan and the rest of the anime manga fandom. In other news.
But yeah, this is definitely a good video. Don't forget to like give it a like and stuff, guys. But yeah, like, this is just sickening to think about that a company's just controlling that. Stop! Right. Give me a second. Alright, let's start up our Isaac.
Let me just... Oh wait, no, you have to send the link, that's right.